Welcome, welcome. It'll just take a few minutes to just come up here for a minute. I did figure out a few things that are going on. Hello. Hi, Marcy, Penny, Lois, Carol, Chris, Anne. Anne, how's the grandbaby? Victoria, Rose, everybody. Hi, ladies. It's great to have you here. Vera from Australia. You know, Anne, one of the ladies is on her way to Australia. I think she left. Hey, Leslie. I think she left yesterday. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, I think she left yesterday. She was gone, and my neighbors actually headed down that way for a long time. Like, it's kind of exciting. And y'all know my grandmother's from Australia, so I love the whole concept of the down under. All right, so everybody's good? Good. Y'all from Texas? Yeah. This is Texas. It's been such a fun day. We are Texans, that's for sure. Whether we like it or not, we are Texans. We like it. I'm just kidding, but we are Texans, that's for sure. All right, well, let's get started. We've got some really good questions. I want to make sure that we can, mostly I think it's important. I love to chat. You all know that. But I think it's important when we are doing these to not have too much fluff, because I border on it not being personal enough. And then if you're listening back to them, you just want to get the questions answered. You just want to, kind of get in, get out, and get all those questions answered. And so I see both sides, and I think it's a hard line to walk. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll answer the questions, and we'll do good at doing that, and then we'll visit another time. How's that sound? Or we'll visit a little bit. Yeah, hi everybody. Tennessee says hello. Hi everybody. 2 from Tennessee. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with this first question. She's wanting to know what that bump is, or that wrinkle in her shoulder angle. And what I'm going to tell you when we look at this photo is that the shoulder angle is too sloped. So I wrote it there so you would see it. So you can see that, she's taken away that shoulder angle, but it's so dramatic that the point on the shoulder is the resting point, but the angle in between, it's just too sharp. It's too steep. So that's what's causing that wrinkle. Now, I'm going to show you something, because I wanted to show you a close-up of this. The next picture I wanted to show you is the whole side of the top. Now, here's my guess, and I'm guessing. My guess is the shoulder, she tried to get rid of the gap at the armhole, and the gap is caused by 2 things. It's caused by the shoulder angle, but it's also caused by the bust dart. And I think she took too much out of the shoulder angle and not enough out of the bust dart. And the reason I say that is because, well, the circumference looks a little bit small, and you can see that because there's kind of like a divot above her bust line under the armhole. And there's angular wrinkles, and those wrinkles mean the bottom of the blouse is being pushed up. And when we defy gravity, that's not good. That means that something's causing that blouse to go up, because normally it would not go up, it would just go down. So my guess is it's a little bit too small. There's not enough stretch in this knit. This is a knit top. This is pattern 313. It's called Terry's top. But I think that there's just not enough circumference. And I think she's taken too much shoulder angle out to try to get rid of that armhole gap. You can rely on that dart a little bit more and use the armhole dart to get rid of that gap. And I think those 2 things will fix it. Okay, let me know, because you guys know I'm here. Okay, the next thing is, I love this. So she was in a dressing room and she had this top on, and she said, hey, what pattern is this? Well, it's funny because right away I said, oh, that's 617. Mark's blouse, twisted front blouse or something like that. But what was interesting is I took it out of, you can't get it. I discontinued it. So it's too good of a blouse to discontinue. So what I did, it's called Mark's Blouse, pattern number 617, is we're just started today, this Peggy giveaway. So I decided, let's go ahead and put it on a pre-sale, because we could do it on a limited basis. And it's a great blouse. And so if you look at under Fit to Stitch, under donations, you'll see that I put it up under donations. Great blouse, you know, all the way around. Great blouse. This is a Carolina Herrera blouse. She saw it, she fell in love with it, and she wanted to know what pattern is closest to it. And I mean, it's not just close, it's like right on. It's pretty exact. Okay, this next one, she's wanting to know if the shoulder seam is too wide. My answer would be yes. So let me just tell you that gosh y'all, I hope you know that if I could, I would tell you exactly what to do. I mean, I'm a fixer. Is that fair, you guys? I'm a fixer. Know that about my personality. I'm a fixer. I want to help you. I want to help you fix it. But I can't. There are times the only thing I can do is get you to fix it. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so the photo on the left, you can use your armhole templates. So see how by asking me this question, is it too wide? What that means is she's never gone shopping, she's never put on a jacket, and she's never measured, see the picture on the right, from the red line to the red line. Measure all the way across your shoulders. This is a style issue. It's a personality. It's a personality. You got to know what you like, though. I can't tell you what you like. You got to know what you like. So you got to try on jackets until you realize how far you want those shoulders apart. And then all you do is put your armhole template on the red line and draw the armhole, the same armhole. You're drawing the same armhole onto your jacket, but you can draw it in anywhere you want, anywhere along the shoulder seam, and then you'll swing it out to the circumference of the jacket that you need it to be. That just sounds too easy, doesn't it? I mean, it's really that easy. So I would ask her back, how many inches do you like the width of your jacket at your shoulders? And your answer should be X. Now, if you know, let's say 15 inches. Let's say, if you look at the jacket, the beige jacket again on the right, notice I drew a line, a red line, right at the hole in her neck. That is center front. That is, I mean, it's not an anatomical alignment to the pattern, but it's, you know, it's pretty close. So that little divot in the hole in her neck is halfway, center front. But measure from shoulder seam to shoulder seam, figure out what you like, and there's no right or wrong, it's what you like. And then all you have to do is measure from center front out on the pattern, put a line there, that is your stitching line, not your cut line. Put your armhole template there. Then swing it out to the width you need. All an armhole does is it connects the shoulder seam to the side seam. That's all it does. So once it connects and you use your armhole template, you are free to, then you'll like the jacket. Now, having said that, you could fix this jacket. You don't have to leave this way hanging off. Take the sleeve out, recut that armhole. You know, I mean, you can take in the side seam if you need to raise it a little bit. You might not, you know, I mean, you can fudge a little and then put that sleeve back in, but put it in where it's going to be good. I hope you all understand that. Ask questions if you don't, and we'll go on to this next one. Okay, this next question, that was really good. Oops, I jumped ahead a little bit. She said, how do you create the proper template for armholes if you're starting from scratch? I've been sewing for 68 years. I have never achieved a good armhole using a commercial pattern or by draping. I don't have a custom form and I can't afford one. I'm an advanced sewer. I can't for the life of me. Okay, so step one. You don't need to be an advanced sewer. In fact, sometimes being an advanced sewer causes us to think, you know, like we know everything. And I know you're asking the question, so I know you don't. 68 years, that's just way too long to not get this right. Okay, so let's make this simple. You're going to go shopping. I've been fashion sewing for 68 years. My goodness. Okay. I can actually say that's older than me. Very, very few times can I say that, but tonight I can say that. All right, but anyway, you're going to go shopping. And you're going to go shopping and you're going to take your French curve with you. And you are going to put on all kinds of sleeveless armholes. There's 4 armholes. There's sleeveless, there's a knit top, there's a woven blouse, and a jacket. Okay, so you can go and just get one. Just do one at a time. Let's say sleeveless. Go and put on as many tops as you need to. There's probably a million armholes at every mall, right? All you're going to do is put on anything sleeveless, take in a whole bunch of sizes, and once you find something you like, lay the French curve down on it. The French curve will follow the sleeveless armhole. Take the French curve and go from the shoulder seam to the side seam. Get those numbers. That's it. Go home, repeat the numbers on your pattern. That's it. That's it. Don't make it any more complicated. Okay, that's the sleeveless armhole. Do not make it any more complicated. It's that simple. Okay. All right. This picture, I'm sorry, I kind of got ahead and showed it to you. Okay, the question is, forgive me for not writing this formula down. You are absolutely forgiven. But you gave a formula for the measurement of a photo and then taking it to the actual measurement on the garment. Could you please repeat it? Okay, so she's talking about proportions. So I picked up some pictures here where in every case there's a jacket or 2 pieces, and it's important that those pieces be in proportion. I mean, if you like the photo, I'm assuming in each of these cases you like the way the photo looks. Now, if you don't, then then you get a photo you like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you start. I'm just, for the sake of argument, I'm going to assume you like the photo, and I'm going to start with the one on the right. Okay, where she's got a pant or a skirt or something long, and she's got that leather kind of a jacket overneath that is called cognac. That cognac leather, it's a beautiful color, over the top piece. So I measured the dressed part of her body, shoulder to ankle. And in this actual garment, I mean, in this actual photo, I actually printed it out. The actual photo measures 5 inches, 5.5 inches, I'm sorry, 5.5 inches. No, 5 inches, sorry, 5 inches. When I printed it out and measured it, it measured 5 inches. Okay, so when I measure me, or you measure you, because you can't tell how tall she is, just you want the same proportions as the picture you find. So if the coat measures 4 inches and she measures 5 inches, then you extrapolate those numbers. So for instance, the 5 inches, my 5 inches, are 52 inches. I'm 52 inches from my shoulder to my ankle. I'm 52 inches. So, I mean, I could be 50, but close. So I'm 10 times the size of this woman. I'm 10 times the height she is. So then I would take the 4 inches and I would make my jacket, my cognac leather jacket, would be 40 inches, 10 times. What you just want to do is measure the shoulder. You want to measure fixed bones. So that's why it's shoulder to ankle, dressed part of the body. Then all you have to do is figure out how many times bigger you are than her, so you can keep those proportions exactly the same. So now if you look at the middle picture, the gray to the skirt, that's 2 to 1. So that jacket, or it's probably 1.5, I take that back, it's 1.5 to 1. So if you were to measure from shoulder to the bottom of the skirt, divide by 3, 2 of those pieces would be the jacket, 1 would be the skirt. I'm sorry, I messed this up. 3 would be the jacket, 2 would be the skirt. You divide by 5. It's 1.5 to 1. There's 5 parts. Each part is 1/2 inch, there's 5 parts. Okay? If you measure the long coat on the left, measure her from shoulder to knee, measure the coat. You know, your proportions are either halves, thirds, fourths, or fifths. Now, if you notice going back to the cognac coat, that was fifths. The coat is 4 of those 5. If the gray in the middle is 3 of those 5, so it's 3 to 2, or 1.5 to 1. If you look at that on the picture on the left, that also looks like 1.5 to 1, I'm guessing. But it looks like this is 3 parts, and what's left is 2 parts. Now, often I say to use the actual physical body as your own proportions. So, for instance, your fingertips, the bend in your knee. Use those physical parts to say, okay, this is where I want the length to go. And it's very easy to do that, just FYI. Okay? Okay, so that's the numbers. That's how I did it. That's the way you want to do it. You just want to remember that when you're looking at a picture, you can't tell how tall the person is. So pretend that you are the same exact height as that person. And all you have to do is divide your literal body measurement, shoulder to ankle, by theirs, whatever you measure in the picture to be. And then you can divide and you can come up with how many times bigger she is, and then you can take all the parts. Okay? Okay. Next question. This is, she's struggling with this pant. And, you know, I called this camel butt. Now, I know there's not a term called camel butt, you all. But recognize that she is definitely, the crotch depth is too, I'm sorry, it's not called crotch depth, it's actually called crotch length. No, it's just called crotch depth, I'm sorry, I'm switching it on you. The distance from her waist to her crotch is not long enough. Can you see that? So these are yoga pants under the waistband so that you don't change the style. I would add at least an inch all the way around the pant so that you lower the pant. People say to me all the time, well, why wouldn't I just add it to the back? Because your crotch is not just in the back, your crotch is in the middle. So the fact that this is cutting up her butt like this, camel butt, it shows that it's just too short everywhere. So she needs to add. She needs to drop the whole pant down. So you could do this to find out how much. You could literally just pull this pant down. You know, you could pretend that you were adding because it's a knit pant, and you could just pull it down until it got, you know, until that camel butt went away. But also all these wrinkles are causing the crotch length is too long. Now these two scenarios, crotch depth too short, crotch length too long, are very common. They're very common. In fact, if I were to tell you any 2 combinations in all of ready-to-wear that are wrong, it's those 2. The crotch depth is too short, the crotch length is too long. It's not just on my patterns, it's all over. You'll see it all over the place because you'll see often where someone has camel butt and yet they have wrinkles at the same time. And you say, what's going on here? This is a very easy thing to fix. Slide the pant down, add all the way around the top, under the waistband, to the top of the pant there. Don't change the styling. And then you're going to take, once you can do that, you can actually take a dart through the hip line and you can get rid of all those wrinkles. And it's a very easy process to do, and you all can do this. Okay, now the only thing that is difficult, and you know, look, the workshops do very well, and the workshops do really well because it's hard to fit yourself, especially in the back. It's not hard. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just hard. You know, it's hard to get. It takes time. You got to put it on. You got to take it off. You got to put it on. You got to take it off. You got to kind of go back and forth. So it's much easier to have me come in and drape you, and it's done in 5 seconds. I get it. Okay, I understand. Speaking of workshops, because everything has sold out, I went ahead and put up a new workshop in Dallas for February. it's President's Day weekend. And we might add a few more things on that President's Day weekend because it's a good weekend for people who are traveling in from out of town. So just FYI, just kind of watch for that. But I put up a workshop for March 2026 in Dallas, and that workshop sold out. And so I put up another one for February so that it would give some people some room. Okay, this next question, this is our last question. And so, I mean, we're doing good. Like I say, I would like this to be short enough to where everybody can watch it, get their questions answered, and then move on down the road. All right, this last question. I thought I would email my question since you always say a customer requested a certain fabric. So here I am asking, will you be getting any trench coat fabric, cotton or poly blend that would be waterproof for your trench? I love the new shorter version of the trench. Do you have a suggestion which pattern to use? Okay, so I wanted to talk about trenches here for a little bit because trenches right now are very, 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 very popular. I mean, they always are. They're so classic, you all, but they really are. They're a lot of fun. And I've made trench coats 5 years ago, and they're still current and wonderful, and, you know, they're everywhere. So I wanted to make a few comments on trench coats. Number one, they are very non-traditional right now. They are colors, they are pastels, they are denims, they are lots of different fabric other than, you know, that traditional beige waterproof fabric. So, having said that, I think you ought to look at lots of different options as far as trench coats go. I have many, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Recognize that your dry cleaner can waterproof a fabric. Any fabric can be waterproofed. So talk to your dry cleaners or search for waterproofing fabric because it can be done after the fact. It doesn't have to be waterproof fabric. Just FYI. All right? And then go crazy. Go crazy on all the fun things that you can do with trench coat fabrics. There are just so many of them. I think there's so many of them out there that they just become really, really fun. And, you know, I don't know that I want to, well, so to answer the question directly, instead of trying to change you and get you to buy something else, I don't have any trench coat fabrics as they are, and I don't have any waterproof fabrics. Remember, I think it was last year, maybe it was over holidays, I can't remember, we had that Laura Piana waterproof fabric. That was amazing. But I only have enough of it for my son. My son wants a jacket, and that's his Christmas present. But anyway, I'm making him a waterproof cool jacket because he says he can't buy anything that's as good as what I can make. Isn't that nice? That's so nice. Or maybe he's just setting me up because he wants something. I'm not sure, but anyway, you know, I just don't see it every day. So there are several fabrics out there that I'm looking for. I've kind of got radar out there that I'm trying to find, but I don't have any right now to answer your question. So having said that, go back to the answer, which was there's so many great fabrics out there. Just kind of keep an eye out for that. And as you look up trench coats online, boy, there are just so many different colors and combinations and shorts. 1925 is our trench coat pattern. I would use that as a base. I would use that because it's got all the parts and pieces. It doesn't mean you need to use all the parts and pieces. You can kind of leave off whatever you feel like you want to leave off. Okay. All right. So something I want to mention because we're kind of getting close to end. What pattern are you wearing, please? I'm wearing 626 Cucinelli's blouse, the brand new blouse pattern. It's the fabric is 84.97. It's a Hugo Boss silk. When I sent for my sons when they were small, I told them they were wearing my love. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, I love that. They were wearing my love. That is so kind. I love that. I'm going to copy that if you're okay with that. They're wearing your love. That is cool. You're right, because it is. You put a lot of time and energy into making something for them, and obviously they can't really appreciate it. It's just not possible. But when you tell them you're wearing, I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Um, okay, so the next thing, oh, I know, we started a Peggy giveaway today. So the Peggy giveaway is just what it is. You know, you get 4 hours of me. Um, but it's anything on the Fit to Stitch site. So there's a couple patterns. The first thing I want to mention is there's a little sewing kit. It's a how-to sewing deal for little kids, girls, boys. It's you know, any sex. It doesn't matter. But it's hand sewing and it's adorable. And I was at the gift market a couple weeks ago and I saw this. I thought, okay, we've got to do this. So what we're doing is we're pre-selling it through the end of, you know, this deal, because if you buy it, your name goes into this Peggy giveaway, and we'll ship them plenty of time for the holidays. So if you've got a daughter, a son, a grandson, a granddaughter, somebody, a neighbor, somebody you know that you think is interested in sewing, I think this is just a great holiday gift. Or just not a holiday, just a great gift, you know, for whatever. So I brought back a couple patterns. I brought back 617. I brought back 145. Those are both requests. 617, Mark's Twisted Blouse. 145 is, I don't remember, it's got an overlay. It's a cowl overlay, and it's so popular right now that and it's been requested. I could not, I just couldn't bypass it. So we put those back up. And then remember, we've got the new bias ruler. We've got lots of new stuff up on Fit to Stitch. So there's lots of great ways. Remember, the 1400 series is still for sale. You still get the free pattern, and we need your support. We need your St. John's top. Thank you, Anne. 145 is St. John's top. Thank you, you guys. You're right on it. St. John's top. All right. What else? Any other questions? What can we talk about? Did you guys see our stretch silks up today? They're only 20 stretch silks. They're Hugo Boss stretch silks. They are $24.99 for today and tomorrow. We'll leave or until they sell out. $24.99. They'll go up to $39.99. These Hugo Boss stretch silks, they're beautiful. They're great for blouses. But you know what else they're great for? Is they're great for linings. If you're trying to line a jacket and you just want to use silk, but you know, you don't want to spend too much, it's great. Hi, Miss Tina digging in the dirt. I know who she is. She's my doggy person. She's my dog advisor. She's advising me on what type of dog I want to get. I want to get a dog, and you know, I want to hit all the marks of what we need, and Tina's got a great story on all that. She actually trained dogs. This is a great story. I'll mess it up, so I won't tell it, but that's why I love getting to know you all. You all are just amazing women. So many great stories. I stand in awe of all of you. I just so happen to know fitting better than you do. That's the only reason I'm where I am. So I really appreciate that you guys share your experiences with me. It's wonderful. Yeah, 5 yards the rest. It is beautiful. It's just call your attention to it. Okay, so it is, you know, we're 30 minutes in about. I'm going to just hang out here and just see if there's any questions I can answer for you. Remember that even if you don't need one of the patterns on Fit to Stitch, we could use your support. We really are going into the home stretch. We've got till the end of October. And, you know, one thing I was going to say is the Peggy giveaway. If you say, hey, I don't want Peggy, which I can understand you'd say that. It's okay. I'm going to give an option as a serger. You can pick the serger, or you can pick Peggy, and I won't have my feelings hurt. I've gotten to where I'm pretty unaffected by people rejecting me, so it's okay. All right, then I think we're good. I want to say, don't forget, you're supposed to hit the like button. No, I don't do these right, you guys. I don't know why I don't write these down. You're supposed to ring the bell, hit the button, like it. I'm thinking about making Sophia's dress from it. Well, Sophia's dress, you need a knit. I don't know if you could do it with the stretch silk. I would rethink that. The stretch silk, you could do the overlay on St. John's top. The base has to be a knit. The sleeves have to be a knit, but the base overlay would be really pretty if it was solid. I made a leather trench coat for my husband about 30 years ago. It's so heavy for him to carry on trips. Well, the leather of 30 years ago and the leather of today is not even close to being the same. So what I would say to you about that is start again. Leather today, it's called apparel leather, and it's so beautiful. It's so light. I'm amazed that you did it 30 years ago. I'm amazed that, that it's just night and day. The difference in leather from all those years ago is just a night and day. Thumbs up, ring the bell. There you go. Thumbs up, ring the bell, and thank you, you guys. Oh, leave a comment. That's the best part. I love your comments. Okay? All right, we're going to say good night. Thank you for your Q&As, and we will see you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to do our holiday sewing. Tuesday night is going to be holiday sewing, so we're going to give you some great ideas on what to do with that. Okay? All right, we'll see ya. Bye.